Are you too hot?
No, it's because I don't want the background noise. It's actually freezing down here, but I don't want the background noise getting picked up by the mic. So.
I'm sure you got your pop filter. I'm sure it wouldn't pick up. I don't know.
Well, you know what? I just want to be extra careful.
And Discord's pretty good about, making sure no background noise.
I want to give our 5 listeners the most beautiful listening auditory landscape.
We definitely have at least like 10 listeners now.
We're moving up.
We're moving up in the world. We're moving up. I look at the stats every week. We're moving up.
You ever been asked to give your stats on a dating app?
Like what? Like, 5.
Like, no, yeah, like 5'8" or whatever your height is,
Oh my God. Remember when I'm going to talk about Anthony on the podcast again because I just love Anthony.
Okay, here we go.
Remember when Anthony told us about how he did like an experiment, like an experiment?
Shouldn't we be talking about this?
I'm going to talk about it anyway. He did an experiment on a dating app where he put in one of his bios that he put like 6 foot, and then in the other one he did not put a height, and he got more likes on the 6 foot one than he did on the other one. And I'm like, that's scientific research right there. That is how you set up an experiment where you got 2 groups. Maybe he didn't do the data with the statistical analysis, but he went ahead and he observed. There was an observable difference in the number of likes that he got when he put 6 foot versus not. I'm just saying.
Listen, I think there are certain characteristics that are epitomized or put on a pedestal in our society. Of course there are.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll talk about this further, because
okay, word.
After Anthony told me about this, I went to my straight friends, because this is a straight kind of thing. I feel like
Okay.
I went to other friends that I have that are straight, and I was like, I go to the girl, and I'm like, okay. So my friend tells me that in the straight community, like, height is really important for straight women when it comes to dating men, and she goes,
Right.
yeah.
She goes, yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm here to tell you that's a fact.
She goes, yeah, that's true. Not for me, but like generally speaking about straight women, yes. And then I was like, okay, but why?
Yeah, is it like a virility thing? Like they see him as like a big, tall guy who can like carry them, take care of them, have kids
I
and shit
don't
like that?
like why. It's not even like the guy has to be tall. It's like the guy has to be taller than you. But like, why? Why
Right.
can't the guy be shorter than you? What's the problem with that?
Well, 2 things. First of all, quick tangent. There's a movie on Netflix called Tall Girl,
Right.
and it recently came out the sequel, Tall Girl 2, which I think they should have called Too Tall. But they didn't. But anyway,
Okay.
let's go back to. So it's basically about a girl. She's this white woman who's objectively very beautiful, in my opinion.
Right.
Basically, her struggle is that she's too tall. And I watched the
Okay.
movie. I watched the movie. I watched only the first one, did not watch the sequel. And I thought it was the most ridiculous hill to die on, because the idea is that like she was being made fun of or incapable to do certain things because she was just too tall.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is something to be said about larger women in society having, a harder time navigating certain social situations or perception by society
Yeah.
than women who are smaller. Obviously, so
I
like,
mean,
but in terms of weight, in terms of height,
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
because like the idea of being a small petite woman is very much something society kind of capitalizes on.
Right.
Not
Yep.
me, but society.
Mhm.
So I think there is something to be said. But in this context of a attractive white woman in high school and her biggest thing being she's too tall, I don't know.
There's
Watched
other
it.
problems out there. There's other
I know.
problems out there.
I don't know. I listen. Everyone wants representation, great, but I just didn't. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me.
Right, right.
Okay, it just wasn't for me.
My sister may have
And
liked that movie. My sister is a tall woman. Uh,
how tall is she?
she's my height, so she's like 5'10", 5'11".
Oh yeah, but this girl's like 6 something.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, the other thing, would you date someone taller or shorter than you? Is there like a height you wouldn't date?
No, okay. You know what? Maybe.
Okay.
Typically no, but if someone's like super super tall, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like, if someone's like 7 feet, like, I don't know. That's a little bit tall for me.
Well, let's go with the bell curve here. You're not going to
Right.
run into extremely tall and extremely short people very often because they live at extremes and there's far less of them in society. So let's just talk about the general range of heights that people in everyday life run into. Would you be okay dating someone on that super shorter end of the spectrum or the super long end of that spectrum? Not the very edges of the bell curve, but within, the median range.
I'd probably be fine with that. I don't see height as a characteristic that is.
You don't see height, just like you don't see
height.
color.
No. I don't see height as a characteristic that is attractive. Like, it does not make a person more or less attractive to me seeing their height. That's not something that I find attractive.
Are there any other physical characteristics that if someone had them, you'd be like, no?
No. Physical characteristics.
I have one.
Oh, what's yours?
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to date anyone who is as thin or thinner than I am. Now, Thinness is a great problem to have in society. I'm not saying it's a struggle. It really isn't. I, however, don't like being thin. I wish I was heavier.
Right.
It's very hard for me to...
You wouldn't want to date me.
You're thicker than I am.
Okay.
You are. You're thicker than I am.
That's true.
So I would date you. So you're lucky. But I've been trying my entire life to gain weight. It's not working. I don't know why, but it's not a problem to have. I have great thin privilege in that I am seen, especially in the gay community, being a thin white person as very attractive. Just in that alone. My face, no, but the rest of me, okay. But I don't want to be with someone who's like thinner than me or as thin as me, because when I, palpate myself, checking for lumps and bumps, I feel bone instantaneously. Like,
bone.
I imagine hugging me. I don't know how my boyfriend does it. It's probably not a pleasant experience because there's just bones
like
everywhere.
A skeleton.
Yeah, I don't like that. I rattle when I walk. People hang me on trees during Halloween as a decoration.
But Pat, I saw that Instagram picture you posted. It was either today or yesterday. Girl,
that only happens.
Thick and fine.
Well, that's because every time I take those photos, it's right after a workout when you have that, over accentuated muscle tone because you just worked it out. You wake up the following morning, skin and bone, skin and bone. So nothing against thin people. Thin people have, I'm sure, other problems, and there are people who physically can't gain weight, and that is an issue. But for me, I'd like someone who's just, I'm not saying they got to be jacked. I'm not saying there has to be like a muscular component. Just someone who is overall a little thicker than me.
Right.
But in terms of height, don't care. In terms of weight, don't care. Skin color, don't care. Hair, I don't care. Like too much, too little, whatever. Just be a little thicker than I am, and I think we're good to go.
Okay, lovely. Yeah. I love that. I never introduced the podcast, so here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This time I know that I didn't introduce it because I was aware of it.
We didn't.
Unlike when you gaslighted me in one of the previous episodes saying I didn't introduce it.
I'm pretty sure it's gaslit, but whatever.
Oh my God, you're such a... Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the What to Gay Think podcast. I am Matt Klubeck, and today with me I have my hefty testy, Pat. How are you doing, Pat?
Testy. I have been testy recently just because I've been locked up in my office for so long. Everything irritates me now.
Yeah. We are recording this episode right after the previous one. So Pat is still locked up because his boyfriend
locked up abroad.
Yeah.
Locked up abroad.
Here we are.
I'm abroad who's locked up.
Why are you locked up?
Can't get out. I might have COVID. I can't leave.
You don't have... No, your boyfriend has COVID. You don't have
it's
it
my
yet.
But it's my civic duty not to leave, just in case.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm aware. I mean, you've been exposed.
Oh, I've been exposed to so much stuff, though.
Did you hear the story of... I don't know if you know what? I don't know where the story was, but there was a story of a hairdresser who was doing someone's, hair, whatever. This guy goes in, he's like coughing up a storm. He's like, not wearing a mask, whatever. And then as he leaves, he's like, oh yeah, I have COVID. And then leaves. So you're aware, he was aware that he had COVID. He still went to this hairdresser to get a haircut or whatever. Sat there coughing up a storm and then left.
He needed it. He needed that tight fade.
But can you believe that there are people out there who are aware that they are sick and then proceed to go out and actively spread Like they are aware. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like those people who want to get HIV and then look for people who have it and tell them to have sex with them.
That's a little strange.
It is. Speaking of HIV, did you see that article?
Wait, just
Apparent?
just that article. Like no additional context. The only thing I could think of is HIV. Like
come on. If you saw the article, you know. Apparently, HIV is more prevalent now in straight communities than gay communities for the first time.
Okay, I did see this.
And
right?
now is the blood ban gonna be lifted?
Okay. So I did see this.
Way to go, straights! You did it. You finally did it.
I saw like it was like 50 or 51% of new HIV cases were straight people, and then the rest were gay men. But, and I'm not advocating for anything here, but if you do the base rate, because you have to take into account the base rate fallacy, yes, more straight people are getting it, but there's less gay people in the population in the first place. So proportionally, it's still more prevalent in gay men.
Yes.
But I still don't agree with the blood ban, obviously. I'm just making that clear.
Yes, but straight people really said they were good. They were like, we have to be the first at everything.
Straight people can't lose. We have to win. We can't lose to gays.
I'm gonna get HIV just as much, if not better, than those homos. and they did. And I just want to say a quick thank you to all of the medical practitioners and advocates who really promote safe sex and PrEP in the gay LGBTQ plus community, because that's what's really going to be helping us stop the spread of HIV. Because it is, in reality, it's one of, I think, the few. Well, I'm not gonna say few because I don't know the number. It's one of the, in a group of diseases that can be stopped and eliminated. You know, it's only contagious through very few means, and it's highly transmissible in those means, but outside of those means, it's really not.
Yeah.
So, you know, at least us, fuck the straights. I mean, not literally, because you'll get HIV apparently, but like, fuck the straights in that don't deal with them within our own community. Though, let's get on PrEP. Let's get the condoms out. Let's get the dental dams. Let's get the dental dam. Hey, listen. You want to go down to the asshole or the
I'm sorry, I just love that word, dental dam. It's just so.
You gotta
like,
use
them,
all
yes,
the
but like
protection.
it's so funny to me.
Use all the protection you can and make sure we're gonna stop that spread, because I'm over HIV being a problem. Because as a gay man, maybe you don't have as much of this as, well, maybe you do. I'm not gonna tell your story.
Don't talk over me. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna. Well, okay, bitch. I have a lot of. Not now. I had a lot of anxiety with HIV when I was more sexually active with multiple partners.
Right.
In my youth, because I'm old, decrepit, and I'm, elder, millennial, whatever. So, it was very uncomfortable because, A, you're gay, so that's uncomfortable enough as it is. B, you have to find like partners for certain activities through means that aren't always the safest. And then C, people could lie. And then D, you could be like, sometimes it's shady, you could be assaulted, whatever, horrible things. And then like HIV, the symptoms sometimes are no symptoms at all, a mild cold or flu-like symptoms, or you just don't know until like you get tested like months, maybe a year later, just as a routine, and you find out and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Now, people can live with HIV now. Very healthy, long lives, obviously. Yeah. And undetected does equal untransmittable. I love that. But it's just always, because, as someone who, a lot of people growing up, maybe not now, maybe now too, but a lot of the gay media you get is HIV-centric media. It's highly focused on that because it's one of the biggest parts of our history, especially in this country. So it's something and you hear about how devastating it was. So it's wild. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just a sad topic.
It is a sad topic, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because there was another article, and I don't remember if we talked about this in the last episode.
I know. See, you said that article, and I know what you said. I know what you meant.
Did you?
Unlike
what am I going to talk about?
You're going to talk about how Moderna is starting trials for the first HIV. Yeah. See, I knew.
Well, I didn't know what you gave me no context except HIV.
You said that article. That's even less context. Go on. Tell me about Moderna.
I said there's a light at the end of the tunnel, so it was pretty easy to assume where I was going.
I'll go to your tunnel. Now tell me what Moderna's doing.
Please come to my tunnel. It's very lonely. it's crumbling a little bit after all that coffee. Yes, so Moderna is starting trials with an mRNA vaccine for HIV, and apparently it might do well. I mean, I don't know. It's in phase 1 trials, so like it could also not do well.
It might be shit. We don't know yet.
It might be terrible. And also, like, clinical trials for HIV, I feel like that's going to be hard to collect a lot of data for. Because, like you mentioned, HIV is not super easily transmissible. You have to go out and be, like, sexually active and have sex with people. So I'm assuming whatever trial they're
And
doing,
some people just can't do that.
I mean, it
Joe Rogan, probably.
Ooh.
Who's fucking Joe Rogan? Hopefully no one.
Maybe his wife. I don't know. Is he married? I don't know. Probably.
Ugh, I hope not.
And his wife is probably not very happy. Anyway.
You know whose tunnel isn't getting any attention? Joe Rogan's theoretical wife.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say Joe Rogan's tunnel.
Well, yeah, hey, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what Joe Rogan's into.
I think Joe Rogan is definitely into butt stuff. Do you think so?
You
know who's into butt stuff? Ben Shapiro. I will place money on it.
Oh my god.
I will place bets.
I think Ben Shapiro is so uptight about like sex and like he probably doesn't even wipe well. Cause he's like he probably just takes the toilet paper and just kind of goes like, for people who are watching, my hand is flat and just rubs against the butt, but doesn't actually kind of do the scoop motion kind of. Not scoop. We're not going in your ass, obviously, but like, you got to give it some curvature to kind of contour to the ass.
Right.
He's just going flat because he knows if he slips and one finger goes inside, it's over.
He's
going straight to hell.
If he gets even the most minuscule pleasure out of wiping his ass, then he knows straight to hell. Straight to hell.
You want pleasure with your ass? What
is happening? Where is this going?
6 teaspoons of Metamucil over the course of a day. The next day, smooth sailing. You don't even have to wipe.
Okay, that's not where I thought we were going with this. But you know what? You want pleasure with your ass?
Metamucil. Metamucil. Oh, should advertise it like, you like good clean ass? Drink some Metamucil.
I do like me some good clean ass. I will say that.
Fellas, do you like clean ass?
Is it gay to have a clean ass?
You want to talk about acne surgery?
Are we switching topics?
Yeah, you want to talk about it?
Oh, sure. What? I didn't even know acne surgery was a thing. So yeah.
So acne surgery is not as intense as it sounds. It sounds like surgery, but it's really not. So basically, you know what a facial is, right? You can get like a facial done, like a peel or like an extraction done on your face.
I love it.
So a lot of times insurances don't cover that though, because they see it as cosmetic or aesthetic procedures. But apparently you can submit a claim as an acne surgery, and a lot of insurances do cover it. And it's to correct damage or to prevent correct damage from acne or prevent further acne, things like that.
Wow.
So in my acne journey, for those of you who don't know, has been very long and very hard. It's very tedious. I'm at a place where I don't have a lot of acne anymore, but I have a lot of like post-acne scarring, inflammation, pigmentation. So I am starting acne, quote unquote, surgery treatments. And my first one was recently. And all it was a very strong percentage of salicylic acid, which is known to prevent acne and treat acne symptoms, and then some toner and a few extractions. And honey, this poor woman does not know what my face can handle. She puts this salicylic acid on. She goes, this might burn a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. She goes, you okay? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. 10 minutes later, 5 minutes later, she puts on another one. She's like, it might burn more now. I'm like, okay. She's like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. This woman doesn't realize that I have burned layers off of my face. I want her to just get a fucking sander, those big sanders, the circular sanders, and just shred my face. And she's over there daintily just spreading salicylic acid like, ooh, this will help you. Yes, this will do well.
It is acid. Most people probably can't handle it. I mean...
Well, because 10% is what she used, and 10% is higher than like what you see over the counter. Mm-hmm. But I was like, get in there, girl. Because I want microdermabrasion, which is where they use a fine tip sander, basically, diamond tip, to just slough off the top layers of skin and trigger your skin to turn over and regrow. It's supposed to help reduce signs of scarring, fine lines, and pigmentation. That's what I wanted. She's like, maybe next time we'll try that. And I'm like, no, 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 no.
Right now.
I want you to get a scalpel, peel off my skin, and put on a new one.
Hello?
That's what I want. I want, because like I have like a few pimples left over, but it's really just like these huge pores, the scarring, the pigmentation. I want all of it gone. I want a new face.
Speaking of peeling off skin, did you see
Go
that?
for it. What? Who's peeling?
There's a new game out that I saw trending on Twitter earlier today. Martha is Dead is what it's called.
Who's Martha?
I don't know who Martha is. You know what? I didn't even look up a trailer for this game. I just saw it, and I saw what people were saying about it. Apparently, people are saying that this game is super gory. There's a part where you have to peel off someone's face. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to be out here playing a horror game, you got to expect there to be some gore.
Okay,
like, why are we talking about this?
Hold on. Martha is Dead. Martha is Dead to be censored for PlayStation release. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, it's on Steam. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Let's take a second. Let's take a second.
The horror game is
Martha
probably
is Dead,
really gory.
Dark first-person psychological thriller set in 1944 Italy that blurs the lines between reality, superstition, and the tragedy of war. Okay, so this is what, World War II, 1944?
Probably. Yeah, that's around it.
I do like Italy. The graphics are nice. I think I saw a trailer for this a while ago.
Oh, well, apparently it's out now. People are playing it and saying it's really gory, but like,
it's not available on Steam, so it must be out elsewhere.
Oh, well, okay.
It's coming out the 24th of February on Steam, but it looks very nice. Inappropriate for children. Yeah, no shit. If someone's peeling off your face, it's not appropriate for children.
I'm pretty sure there's a content warning on the game as well. That's like, hey, if you are easily disturbed by blood, gore, etc., like, don't play this game. So I don't know why people who are, more sensitive to that type of gore will play this game and then complain about it. Like, don't complain about it.
There's also that other new game.
What other new game?
Lost Ark.
Oh, yeah. Is that on your topic list?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Go ahead. Talk about it. I'm going to let you steer this episode.
Oh, okay. Well, Lost Ark is a new, like, MMO sort of Diablo-like game. Got some WoW vibes. It's got some Final Fantasy look in terms of the, aesthetic. And it's free from, like, an Amazon studio. And it came out, like, 2 days ago or yesterday or some shit. And guess what? It's fine.
It's fine? It's not good?
So I was speaking to Trevor about it, and Trevor seems to really like it so far. And I've only played, I can't judge it too much. I've only played 45 minutes, but this is my takeaway. It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Nice.
I think there are a couple things I don't like. I don't like the gendered class system. I think a sorceress shouldn't just be a woman. I'm okay with that in Diablo 2 because that game is over 20 years old, and I can understand why that sort of thinking was, what they thought.
Right. But now
in a modern game, I don't even really want gender in modern games. I want you to get a character model, be able to move the parts, do whatever you want with it, and then just select like a pronoun, and that'd be it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I want. Like, I want to be able to make a body that looks however I want with whatever genitalia or no genitalia. If that's part of the gameplay. If not, just put the Ken doll smooth, groin on it. I don't care. Tits, no tits, 1 tit, 3 tits, whatever.
3 tits. Wow.
He, she, they, them, all the pronoun lists. Just click it. Auto fills for all the dialogue, and that's it. But
I feel like it's not that hard to program that. But
I don't think it would be. But then again, not a game developer.
Oh,
gotta ask John.
Ask John, yeah.
So it's beautiful, but the gendered class system, like the warrior can only be male. And I'm like, so you didn't watch She-Ra? You didn't watch Legend of Korra?
Oh my God.
You didn't watch Game of Thrones? Well, hopefully you didn't.
Imagine if they had a She-Ra type character. Oh my God.
Like, I play the Paladin.
What?
I play the Paladin. I have a Paladin character, only male. I'm like, oh.
And what I have to say about the brief time that I watched you playing the game? When you played the sorceress, her character model is just like so dainty, so incredibly over dramatic, overly sexualized, I would say, in a way.
Yeah.
The way she walks, the way she moves, and I'm just like, come on now.
I think there is power in sexuality. I think there is.
That's fine.
But I also need the other side of the spectrum.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Like, if you're gonna make, and I think I said this to you yesterday, if you're gonna make this dainty, really girly character as the girl character, then I want to see a really butch character as a woman as well. And
Yeah.
where's the male who's like the dainty, flamboyant one? Like, that's what I want
Pinocchio.
to see. Yeah. Where's the Pinocchio?
Father. Um,
Jesus
yeah, I
Christ.
mean,
And also,
the,
I was seeing conversations about this around Pokemon Legends Arceus too.
mhm.
People saying that like they don't like that there's two genders, only he, him, and she, her pronouns. But also that game does gender bend a little bit in terms of like you can put women's hair on the male character, you can give them women's
Right.
clothing. So it plays with it more a little bit in that aspect, which is progressive for Nintendo, but you still can't have the they them pronouns, which
Yeah, I mean,
progression, but not enough.
yeah, I think in a because Pokemon has it isn't it's a new game, but it's an older IP in that there is a tradition of just male and female characters.
Yeah.
And at one point, it was just a male character. So it's not understandable, but I kind of get the slow kind of growth. But this is the brand new IP. This game is brand new, like, and it's
Right.
also a more modern game in a genre, an MMO genre, which usually customizability of characters is extremely important because there's all these other customizable characteristics which are there, but it's weird that gender is not there.
Yeah.
It's strange. But the other thing I don't like about it is basically you start out with like six or seven skills, and the game is very highly aesthetic. So all the skills look very flashy. And I think in total, maybe you get like 20 something skills in total. But I
Hmm.
found that in the beginning of the game, I was killing everything with these like seemingly overpowered skills. And as I kept playing, nothing really got harder. I haven't played too much though. Nothing got really harder, and the skills look the same, even though they're leveled up. And it's kind of like from the get go, you're given these highly extravagant skills, and I don't feel a progression system at all. Like it's there in terms of the oh, you get more damage done when you level it up, or oh, you
Hmm.
get like different buffs. But I like to see an aesthetic visual progression of abilities. I don't want to walk into a game and swing a sword, cast a spell that blows up half the town. I'm like, I shouldn't do that because my character is level whatever, 1 or whatever you start at. So
Right. Right.
I'm not a fan of that, but I've heard that the game after the first John said 8 hours gets good.
Eight
So I
hours?
guess I think once you
Eight
hit level
hours?
cap, apparently the post game stuff or like the end game stuff is where a lot of the fun is. I've heard it's a
No.
lot of like repetitive sort of dungeon crawling or like just getting new armor and getting like the best gear possible, which is kind of like what WoW does now, which I don't like. So,
But
you
also,
know,
like, if you're having the most fun in a game in the post game, then just make the game the post game at that point. Like, what? Hello?
I don't know, but I
That's
haven't played
dumb to
enough of
me.
it. I'm gonna have to keep playing it, and then I'll give my official review at a later date.
All right. All right. So here's a question for you, and I've been seeing this going around a little bit. Inflation.
Mm,
It's at a really, I think like a 20-year high or something like that. Something crazy. I've
mm,
been seeing a lot of things going around of people saying that the inflation is not due to like any particular thing that Biden did, but it's more due to corporations price gouging. Because I've been seeing all these things that like corporate profits have been at like year on year highs. So why are they raising prices if they have all these profit increases, etc.
hmm.
That's what I've been seeing going around. Have you been seeing that going around?
No. I
Well,
mean, I've
it's
heard about the inflation. I did hear about the inflation, but I don't. I mean, I don't. I think I've said this before, or at least people can piece it together. I don't know how money works.
oh same.
Print more money. Just
Print
print
more
more
money.
money.
Yeah, just do it.
Like I don't get it, and I do think though that like there is that boom and bust cycle where eventually the economy is going to really shit out on us.
Mhm.
The economy's going to drink some cold brew coffee, have to run to the bathroom, and it's just going to just Niagara Fall
But
diarrhea, just fluid coming out of its hole. You know, no light at the end of that tunnel, just more liquid.
um, here's what's happening. So
Tell me.
there's a thing going around. Bernie Sanders has posted it too, but like it's like all these corporations, like Chipotle had a 36% profit increase since last year. McDonald's 25% profit increase since last year. And people are asking, okay, so why are they increasing their prices if they've had such great profit increase? Like, why don't like it's like, why do they understand they wouldn't lose money by keeping prices at the same amount?
Right.
And again, I also don't know how money works, but I decided to look into this because I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Apparently, this isn't true. Like, the reason that prices are going up is not because corporations are greedy, which corporations are greedy, but they were going to be greedy anyway.
Yeah.
Like, they were greedy before the pandemic, during the pandemic, after the pandemic. They're always going to increase their prices, etc., as a way to help increase their profits. So they're not, quote unquote, price gouging. Like, maybe they are a little bit, but that's not causing the inflation, because inflation is a global thing. And there's supply chain issues in every country, not just ours. So everywhere prices are increasing. So you can't blame American corporate greed for raising their prices when the entire globe is kind of moving in the same direction. And also, it's a couple of other factors, like the fact that the economy is restarting because COVID cases are going down. People are spending more than they did even pre-pandemic. So the amount of spending is causing supply constraints on the economy, which Biden, what are you going to do about it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he can do much about it.
But basically, I mean, I'm all for like corporation hate. I'm all about it.
Oh yeah.
But like, it just goes to show, at least from my perspective, that misinformation can spread on both sides. Probably worse on the right side on the right wing side of things from my perspective. But
yes,
it can also spread on the left wing side, and it's good to keep an eye out for that.
You know what really distracts a public from sort of economic issues like inflation or social issues like policing and transgendered people in sports and
What?
War.
Oh, are we back on Russia and Ukraine?
Well, I just wanted to say that because I do think there is a correlation there. Not that we're going to cause the war, obviously, but that our media will capitalize on any thing to steer focus away from, or politicians as well, to steer focus away from other problems.
Oh yeah, I mean, as if this war does break out, which we talked about in the last episode, it could. Biden said it could happen any day.
Yeah.
If it does break out, then I'm assuming that's all the media is going to cover, and we're just all going to, casually forget about the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. We're all going to casually forget about all the inflation going on. Like, it's going to be all talk about Russia and Ukraine and etc. And we'll see if that happens. We'll see.
Yeah. Have I talked to you about lab shenanigans?
Lab shenanigans?
Yeah.
No.
Lab Shenanigans is an account. It's like a social media account run by this kid named Darian, who is a research scientist.
Okay.
Out of Texas, I believe. And his account is like a meme / content. Like, it's a TikTok, Instagram thing about usually like science related memes or videos and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he recently got more and more, not famous, more and more viral, I guess. I don't know. He does like commercials and shit now. Who knows?
Okay.
Anyway,
good for him.
I love his stuff. I have a sweater of his I bought. I have a mug. I love his shit. He's great. He's also gay. Love that.
Love it.
At least, he's gay. Yeah.
ASAP Science, love them. I'm just saying.
ASAP Science. This actually ties into that a little bit.
Oh.
Quick tangent. ASAP Science. They're both so cute.
Oh, I love them.
I love them.
I love them.
And I love their podcast. I love their short videos. I have to listen to. They had a podcast recently about like protein powder, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, here we go.
Don't hurt me. And apparently, a lot of protein powders have like higher levels of things that we shouldn't have in it, like lead.
Oh, here we go.
Anyway, back to Darian. But Darian apparently wants to maybe start a science podcast. And I just was going to put up the bat signal that if he needs a scientist to interview, I am available.
Oh my God, do it. Get our voices out there.
Because he said like he'd like to do a podcast that's science related where he talks to other scientists about like research and like other things related to the scientific field. And I was like, if he does, I'm going to DM him and be like, listen, bruh. I do science.
Here I
Get me
am.
in there. So yeah, if he had a science podcast, I would die.
Get
I
up
would
in there.
absolutely die. Yeah.
Get up in there. Get up on there.
I would get up on him, that's for sure. He is an extremely attractive man.
Okay, you need to talk to him about the effects of coffee on our buttholes.
You know what? I'm sure he would know. He's very knowledgeable.
I'm. Is caffeine the diuretic, or does coffee have something else in it that is the diuretic?
Uh, I think it's caffeine because caffeine is a stimulant, and many other stimulants act as diuretics.
Oh,
I
okay.
think. I think.
So if
I
I
don't know. I
had
don't study that.
if I had decaf, would I not shit myself? I don't know.
Well, decaffeinated coffee still has caffeine in it. It's just lower levels.
Ugh.
You know what I do study though? Oh wait, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna talk a little bit about Duncan real quick, but what were you gonna say?
Oh no, mine's a little longer. So tell me about Duncan. You know I love Duncan.
Okay, here's the thing. I went to Dunkin'
Yeah,
today because I've got a coffee addiction that
yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of.
That's
Anyway,
not working.
not working. I go to Dunkin' today. I go in the drive-through. I order my latte, my casual latte that I always order. Pull up to the window. It's snowing outside because for some reason it's snowing when yesterday it was 60 degrees out.
Yeah,
I pull up to the window. The guy goes, "It's 5.62," which is more for a latte than it should be, by the way, because I only ordered one latte.
yeah.
And I didn't realize that, so I hold up my phone for him to scan it, and I pay for it. And then I think to myself, I'm like, 5.62 is more than it should be, because I'm pretty sure at the window he told me like 3.80, but whatever. Uh,
Okay. And did you say anything about that?
I didn't realize until he walked away. He comes out with two cups. I'm like, oh, that I only ordered one, and he goes, "Oh, whoops, this is for the person behind you." Uh,
Yeah.
so I had accidentally already paid for the person behind me.
Well, then that
So
becomes a cute pay it forward story.
see, that's the thing. Like the guy goes back. I'm assuming he's assuming that I'm gonna want my money back. But then I call him back over. I'm like, okay, just tell the person behind me that I paid for them, and here, this is mine.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
because I never do that. But I
sweetie.
was like, whatever. I'll pay for the person behind me. It'll probably make their day. Let me go ahead and do that. And the person at the window was like, "Oh my god, thank you." And I'm like, okay. And then I leave.
I mean, you're doing the Lord's work.
Doing the Lord's, I feel like I don't hear a lot of pay it forward stories anymore because everyone hates each other nowadays.
Well, I mean, if you saw the movie, you wouldn't want to do it.
I mean,
Do you know what happened to that movie?
what happened to the movie or in the movie? I saw the
In the
movie.
movie. Yeah, in the movie. No one
Yeah.
wants to do it because that kid got killed.
Yeah, he got murdered. Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for that, 20, 30-year-old movie with Kevin Spacey in it.
Oh.
Ugh.
Anyway, I just thought it was a nice thing that happened to me today.
I
Uh,
used to love Kevin Spacey, and now I can't because he's absolute garbage.
oh yeah, because he's like a predator,
Sexual
basically.
harasser, predator. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like that. We don't stand Kevin Spacey anymore. I also never saw House of Cards. Never once in my life saw it.
I did, and I really liked it, and then I couldn't.
Never saw it. And you know what? After that whole thing happened, I never heard about it again. Did it end?
It's over, yeah.
I
The
never heard
season,
about it again.
yeah, the season after his whole thing, I think, was the last season. So,
Never heard about
um,
it again after that. And you know what? Just like Game of Thrones, how you just don't hear about it anymore. Same thing with House of Cards. It used to be like this big thing. Everyone talked about it. I don't hear shit about it anymore. And I'm like, good.
you know what I did watch on Netflix?
What?
Fantastic Fungi.
What the heck is that?
I saw Tyler Oakley going off about this documentary on Netflix called Fantastic Fungi, and it is about fungi. Now,
Mm,
it's a lot of basidiomycete mushroom propaganda.
okay.
And as people know, I love fungi, but I am an Ascomycete girl.
I'm sure that I am like 100% sure that 99% of people listening right now have no idea what you just said.
Here's what we're talking about. A lot of times, mushrooms that are basidiomycetes, they're just different orders of mushrooms. Ascomycetes and basidiomycetes are just different groups. Basidiomycetes make the mushrooms, the cap mushrooms. You know, the stereotypical mushroom you see in the forest. You can eat it sometimes,
Right.
or it could kill you. Whatever.
Fine.
Ascomycetes usually don't. They don't make fungi.
Okay.
They look like cobwebby mycelium that just kind of grow on shit.
Okay.
Okay. Both can decompose stuff though, so that's good. But this particular documentary was so dick deep on the mushrooms, and I was like, you know what? That's fine because mushrooms do provide not only a food source, they're decomposers. They also produce psychedelic compounds like psilocybin. Work. They did a little bit about penicillin and penicillium, which is an ascomycete, which is obviously the medication that we overuse penicillin, by the way.
Oh.
That's what this documentary didn't really go into. The overuse of penicillin, which has caused the development of penicillin-resistant microorganisms, which
Oh.
I think is a big topic that no one really talks about. It's called, what's it called? Medicinal stewardship or prescription. Basically the idea of only prescribing what's absolutely necessary for a patient who is infected with like a fungus or a bacteria
Right. Yeah, I think
and
you've talked
not
about
over
this.
prescribing. Yeah. So they didn't talk about that. Very sus. But the documentary itself, documentary. Why am I saying it like that? The documentary,
Documentary.
like documentarian. The documentary, good lord,
Documentary.
itself was very sort of like, I thought it was going to be fantastic for the title. And you know what? Maybe it's because I know too much about fungi already. I was bored.
Well, I'm sure I would be bored by it as well.
As someone in the field of fungi, I was kind of just like, yeah, I know this. Or like, it's not, I don't know. Like,
You should talk about the fun fungi stuff on the Science Podcast
I would,
and
I
market
would.
it that way.
Darian, I'm going to tag him when this post goes live, this podcast episode. I'll be like, I talk about you
I talk about
on
you.
this podcast. I just think I don't know. There was like a big chunk of it dedicated to psilocybin and people having like psilocybin microdosing to alleviate stress and pain. And I was like, that's lit, but like there's a lot of other stuff about fungi that's going on in the world that I wish people talked about, but they're just too interested in the mushrooms for eating them and the mushrooms for getting high. And I'm like, that's all we talk about. And I want to talk about other stuff.
Fungi are so much more.
They are. There's so much more.
Oh my god.
So much more.
Okay, real quick. I want to talk
me.
about Wordle real fast.
I still haven't played it. Have you?
I have. I've been playing a couple rounds.
Yeah.
But my fascination with it is how much it has taken over. Not really taken over, but like how such a small game, and it's very simple. It's a very simple game. Like anybody can program this game. I'm just saying I could probably program this game. It's super simple. And then the New York Times buys it for like millions of dollars
Yes.
for such a simple game. And I'm assuming it's the concept that they're buying, not like the programming behind it. Because like I said, anyone could program this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming they're buying the concept, which is a fun concept, but like imagine spending millions of dollars for such a simple game. Like that just wowed me. And good for the creator of Wordle for getting all this money from them.
Yeah, I think it's because they realize that more people are playing Wordle than their New York Times crossword or whatever. And they're like, physical print is a dying art. And they're like, we got to get in on the ground floor of something new. And this person has
Right.
developed something, sometimes the simplest ideas. I mean,
Yeah, it blows my mind how sometimes the simplest of things just capture, and it's like a light that has happened this very depressing season of winter. It's just, one of those happy things that has happened. And hopefully they don't put it behind a paywall because they'll probably kill a lot of people. Not literally, but like
Oh, I
make
was
a lot
like,
of people very sad.
kill a lot of people.
Not literally
Yeah,
kill people.
I haven't played Wordle, but I've heard of, I think it's Loodle? Wait, hold on.
Not Ludo.
Loodle game. Wait. Yeah, Loodle. It's the lewd version.
Do you ever go in our Discord, by the way? The Pride Empire Discord?
Yeah, sometimes. Why?
Because we've been talking about Loodle in it, so clearly you
Oh
haven't
shit!
noticed.
I was listening to the podcast. This might get weird. And they talked about it there. But yeah, Dick's Titty Queef. They're all on the table.
Oh yeah. I always start with like I think the other day I started with Boner.
Have you played it today?
I didn't play today's, no.
Okay, well, here I am on Loodle. I'm not gonna play it now live, but maybe I'll play this when we're done. Like my first one will be Loodle instead of Wordle.
And you know what I love? The fact that you have to put in a lewd word in order for it to go through. Like, you can't just put in any word. You have to put in a lewd word. Yesterday's word, or yesterday or the day before, the word was daddy.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, this can't just be foul language. It has to be also suggestive language.
It is, yeah. Daddy was there.
Like daddy, or maybe even mommy, or like I don't know, sucker.
Sucker.
I don't
that's
know.
6 letters, but yeah.
All right. Yeah, but maybe I should give that a try. Loodle.
Oh yeah, give Loodle a try. Play some Wordle. Wordle's fun.
Yeah, but then I'm like playing the thing that's cool right now, and then I'm not cool anymore.
What? Okay, shut the fuck up. No, Wordle's fun. It'll probably die out eventually. And then, the New York Times will have paid for millions of dollars for something that nobody plays anymore. But it's still going strong from what I've seen so far. A lot of people are playing it. And I love that. I think it's a nice little reprieve from the depressing state of our country right now.
Jeez, yeah, it's that, and Ukraine is distracting us from our own country.
Oh yeah.
Wordle is just a plant by the government to distract us, and I
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all the topics that I had. Did you have any other topics?
Yeah, I have one more. Drag Race, because you don't watch it.
Oh
but
yeah,
maybe
I don't.
Someone who
I've
watches
seen some...
us. There are 2 seasons right now happening.
2 at the same time?
One is Drag Race United States, season 14. And one is Drag Race UK versus the World, which is an international all-star season. Basically, people from other countries and our own who've been on a regular season of Drag Race can go compete against each other to try to win again. So Drag Race US, we're like almost halfway through the season, I think, maybe. One of the best competitors had to go home because she rolled her ankle, and she then couldn't compete any longer, which was very sad, which has happened before. Cornbread. Cornbread was great. I just love her name too. Cornbread.
Should have gone with cornhole.
Okay. Anyway, I want to go with cornhole if you know what I mean, but my boyfriend's too sick.
Is this the season with the straight man in drag as well?
This is Maddie. Spoiler alert, Maddie went home. And I need to tell you. So, I wanted to talk about Maddie mostly. Maddie's sense of drag. Now, I watch a lot of Drag Race, but I would consider myself exceptionally learned on the topic of drag. Like, I've been to a few drag shows and I watched Drag Race, which Drag Race colors your perception of what real drag is too much. And a lot of actual drag is not really what you see on Drag Race. But from what I've seen from Maddie, there are ideas. They're just not necessarily polished ideas.
Okay.
The makeup skill isn't as good as the other girls. The concepts aren't as good. The sewing's not as good. And then this week, she got sent home, so she was placed in the bottom 2, and they basically have to lip sync against each other. And then RuPaul decides which one gets to say, which one gets to go. Maddie Morphosis is the full name. Had the unfortunate pleasure of lip syncing against Jasmine Kennedy, who is a New York City queen. And New York City queens in particular, other queens are known for this as well, but New York City queens are kind of known for being these like really, maybe not like professional dancers, but they put on a show. Jasmine Kennedy murdered that man. Jasmine Kennedy walked on that stage and said, I am going to beat him into this runway, drag his corpse across it, flay him, drawn and quartered, put his head on a spike, and then shit on it. And she did just that. She obliterated that poor man.
Oh, Maddie. Oh, Maddie.
And something similar happened last week where this other queen, Georges, obliterated Orion's Story. These people are really good dancers, and they just... Because no one wants to end up in the bottom 2, because they're like, oh my god, I might go home. But if you're a really good dancer, you're fine. And then you get to show all the other hoes. If you end up in the bottom with me, you're also going home. So, besides that, though, I really like this drag queen Willow Pill.
Okay.
She's great. She talks about her tragic disease she has. She talks about her like tragic upbringing. It's so sad, but also she's so good. She's so pretty.
I love that.
And I love it. She's also kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like, she kind of deceived them when she came in the first episode. She was wearing an outfit that wasn't that aesthetically pleasing, but then she showed that she has like a really good sense of drag, and I was like, girl,
slay
kill
me.
him.
Kill
slay me.
Love it.
So yeah, I hope it's Willow Pill. And then the other series, Drag Race UK versus the World, Lemon was on it.
Ah, yes, Lemon again. Here we
Was.
go. Was.
Was. She was sent home first.
No, Lemon.
And I might not agree with it. And I don't agree with it, to be honest. I don't agree with it. And then Lemon started posting the looks she had for other episodes because obviously you have to bring all of your clothes there first. And we were robbed of very good looks from Lemon.
Oh, Lemon, no.
But as of right now, Jimbo is probably my favorite because I love Jimbo. He's another Canadian queen like Lemon who has the biggest set of tits on the planet. Jimbo loves being heavily padded, so huge tits, huge ass, cinched waist, giving you hourglass clown.
Okay, work.
And I love it. And then also on the show this season is Jujubee, who's this lovely queen. This is her 4th time on a Drag Race series. The other 3, she always makes it to the top 3 or top whatever queens. Like she always makes it there on all of her seasons. She never wins.
But will she win this time?
I know. And then the last episode, she kind of flopped. She didn't get sent home, but she kind of flopped. Like she was giving looks that were just not great. And I hope, and the judges told her, they're like, this is your 4th time here. You should be killing it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that reminds her, hopefully.
Oh, well, here we go.
I'll send you a clip of Jimbo later.
Oh,
and you'll know why. And you'll know why I love Jimbo.
I still need to just like watch Drag Race from the beginning or something. Like maybe not from the beginning.
That first season's rough.
Maybe not from the beginning. Maybe from a couple seasons in, but
season 3 is a great starting point. Season 3, 4, and 5 are great.
Okay.
Iconic.
We'll get there. Let's do a would you, could you, should you, and then we can wrap up.
Sure.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill.
I love 2 of those things.
Which 2? Fuck, marry, kill. Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell, and Trump.
Oh, ew. Well, I have to. Oh my god. I guess I have to. Well, you know what the right thing about marrying any of them are? They're not going to be alive much longer. So
that's true.
It's
you get all their money.
So I guess I'm going to marry Biden. I'm gonna have to fuck one of the other ones. Oh god. Maybe I should fuck Biden because I think he'll be like the most sensible.
Okay.
And then but then if I marry them, I look awful. So I guess I have to marry Biden, kill Trump, and fuck McConnell. And I just hope that when McConnell and I are fucking, he
doesn't just collapse.
He passes in his sleep.
Oh, wow, because you're rocking his world too hard.
I fucked him to death. You ever see American Horror Story? I fucked him to death.
I did see American Horror Story. Well, the first couple seasons, but...
The 3rd season, that girl, Taysa Farmiga's character, kills people when she has sex with them.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, the pussy of death. Here's yours. Wait, do you want to give yours for that one?
Oh, it was your... No. It was your scenario.
Okay, fine. All right. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, no.
Joe Rogan.
Oh, God.
Who's that young Republican congressman?
No, Christian Walker?
No. Oh, yeah. Fucking Joe Rogan, Christian Walker, and what's that young Republican congressman's name or senator?
Is it Madison Cawthorn?
Hawley?
Oh, Josh Hawley? Ew.
Josh Hawley. So, fuck, marry, kill, Joe Rogan, Christian Walker, Josh Hawley.
Ew. I'd probably kill Josh Hawley.
Damn.
So who am I left with? Christian Walker and Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, God.
I know my answer.
I'll probably fuck Christian Walker. Just to get it over with. Seems like a pretty good bottom. He'd probably be fine.
Marry Joe Rogan.
I guess. Yeah, I guess I'd marry Joe Rogan. Maybe I can convince him to get off of his.
Maybe you could change it.
Maybe I could change him. Maybe I can get him off his weird anti-vax trend right now.
I think I would fuck Joe Rogan and marry Christian Walker.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you have to deal with Christian Walker.
No one said it's a long marriage. I just said I had to marry him.
Okay. Divorce. It's It's about
It's
divorce babes. Divorce babes.
babes. Great. Wow, that was fun.
Amazing. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of the What Do the Gays Think podcast. Go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter if you like our content at WDTGT Podcast. And if you like games, go ahead and follow us on Twitch at What Do the Gamers Think. That's GAYMERS. What Do the Gamers Think? We currently stream on Mondays and Thursdays at around 8 o'clock. You want some merch? You want to outwardly show your support for the podcast? Check out our Redbubble. It's in the description. And if you want to chat with us outside of the podcast or outside of the Twitch, just hang out with us. Go ahead and join our Discord. You can join that through the link in the description as well. And yeah, that's it. So thanks, everybody. And I am Matt Klubeck.
And I'm apparently fucking Joe Rogan. Patrick.
Lovely.
He's got big muscles. He could really just...
Oh, yeah, he could choke you.
Oh my God, I wish.
All right. Goodbye.
Oh, goodbye. I would love that. I would love to be choked.